In studio right now is Tom Sneesick, and Tom is the owner of the Crystal Springs Golf Course. And what's it like to wake up? Another guy on Jeopardy is winning, $250,000 in 4 days, and you wake up and you're being sued for $1 million.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And yeah, it was definitely an eye-opening experience the other day when I opened my email and from my attorney, and there was a lawsuit for $1 million. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
So talk about the golf course. Where is it so people know? And let's take advantage of this.
Thank you.
Because it's all publicity. So
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Good or bad?
Yeah. We're at 6300 State Route 5 in Vernon, New York. We've been family-owned and operated for 50 years now, over 50 years. My dad started it, quit his General Electric job, decided he wanted to build a golf course one day.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's 1968 we started, and we're open, have leagues, open play. It's a great little family course, rolling hills. It's not your typical 9-hole golf course with the acreage that we have.
And it is key here to the story is it's called Crystal Springs.
Correct.
So what happened?
Well, I did, as I said, I woke up and checked my emails, and there was a summons. It wasn't directly served to me, and I saw it, and I'm reading through this. As you have a copy in front of you, and it says that, and it was named a bunch of Crystal Springs throughout the Northeast, and on here there is Mineral Resort and Spa. There's Crystal Springs Pool and Spa. There's Crystal Springs Golf Course LLC, which we are. Then there's Crystal Springs Acquisitions, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, how can this be possible? You know, is this a name thing? Is this, are we being sued because somebody is? So my mind starts racing. And of course, my heart is in my throat, and like I go, okay, first of all, $1 million. I'm going to have to work a lot more gigs of teaching to do that.
And you teach in New Hartford.
I do, yes.
My guess is that this was your dad's for all these years, but all of a sudden now at some point it became yours.
It did, yeah. My dad ran it for up into the 90s. My brother John took it over, and he unexpectedly passed in 2010. And we were going to sell it, and I told him, I said, well, you know what, let me step in and see what I can do. And I've been running it since 2010 so far.
Okay, so what did you learn? What's going on here?
Well, it took a good part of the day on Monday to figure out this whole fiasco, and calling the lawyer's office down on Long Island, and they really didn't. They kept saying that it was no, you're part of this affiliation. And as I looked into the paperwork, and it just didn't make sense. I looked at the rider and all of the places that were being sued. And, of course, we're located in Vernon, New York. And all of these, on the rider, it says Vernon, New Jersey, Vernon, New Jersey, Hamburg, New Jersey, Vernon, New Jersey, going all the way down. And then there's little old Crystal Springs from Albany, New York, or the Secretary of State. And it's the only one on the list that says from New York. So I immediately called the lawyer's office again. I said, I think you better check your rider. And they're insistent, saying, it's like, well, no, you're affiliated with us. Your name's Crystal Springs. And they just wouldn't budge until finally I said, well, I had to make a threatening accusation to him, saying, it's like, if you don't take me off here and you're wrong, we will sue you.
Right.
And we'll
sue you.
We're not going to sue the guy that's suing this other company down in New Jersey. We're coming after your law firm.
Well, can I ask something? Because you have a very nice course. I've played there several times. Crystal Springs, what I thought of at the time, when I've heard your name, for years, there's a water company that's Crystal Springs, right? Is that
Correct.
what this is?
No.
Or because I also found there was the resort you mentioned.
Yes.
And who is suing you?
It is apparently it is what we found after about a day and a half of researching this. One of my colleagues at school helped me. A Dennis Benedict Sr. who has what we came to find out, because there was nothing in the paperwork that we received that we were name or anything, but it comes out that it's a personal injury matter and medical malpractice.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the...
And you're being dragged into this.
Exactly.
I'm looking at the nature of the suit, and it says...
rights over your name.
And it says...
so
well, that's
too.
what I thought, too. Now, clearly, all the possible... So there's another page in this document that says, the type of suit, and it says... personal injury, medical malpractice, and then it says slip and fall.
Yeah, exactly. Unless I'm performing surgeries on number 2 hole, I don't I didn't see what I did wrong.
I slipped on the 3rd green.
So did they mistakenly put you into this?
That is my argument to them. And as I called them, and once I made the accusation, saying like, well, we'll have to, I'm hiring a lawyer and I'm coming after you. Then
you're an independent golf course in Vernon, New York.
Yes, and I told them, and they finally, about 15 minutes later, they called me back and they said, well, we may have made a mistake.
Well, yeah, because
so they're acknowledging it now.
Well, they are, but then,
or they're at least considering it.
Considering
yeah,
it.
they're
considering the acknowledgement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and again, so as you had alluded to earlier, Tom, on this rider here, you're Crystal Springs Golf Course LLC, but you're not in Albany, New York.
Correct, and that's what they couldn't find.
Or Vernon, New Jersey.
Correct, and the other part is like because of the LLC, I had to file with the Secretary of State in order to make us because we've been a DBA doing business as for 48 years.
You made an LLC,
and when we switched everything over, the liquor license and everything, we switched over to an LLC. And all that. So what's ended up happening is like they couldn't find our address or anything. So they served papers to the Secretary of State. Secretary of State then served our law firm that represents the LLC, which is LegalZoom, and then LegalZoom in return sends me this information. So it took a while for the whole process to kind of get going.
I'm curious that you used LegalZoom, and how did that's worked out well for you?
It's worked out great.
Yeah,
they really. I mean, they're very accessible, and of course costs are really nice.
Yeah, you save a lot.
Definitely.
And for putting together like an LLC, that's
they were great. Yeah, they're absolutely
pretty cool.
It cut costs considerably.
So it looks like you're moving in the right direction here.
I hope so.
It seems quite logical that you are not affiliated with any of this. But you know what they do? These companies, there's an automobile accident, medical malpractice, whatever it is. They just sue everybody.
Yeah.
And you'll be thrown out of it as if they're doing you a favor. But they sue everybody in hopes that one of those is going to turn into the multi-million-dollar golden ticket
or settle.
Go
ahead.
Well, no, I'm just so confused about this because you've got the different various. So you've got a spa and resort, and you've got golf courses, and you've got all these other things, and then it's. I mean, did this guy, Dennis Benedict Sr., slip and fall at all these places, and all of a sudden he's deciding to sue?
So are they saying that they're owned all by the same company?
That's what I'm thinking they're saying. But I just, Hamburg, New Jersey, I mean, if it is the same, under the same tax ID or the same corporation or whatever, that's probably who's getting sued. And then, I mean, if you do a Google search, you can look right up, and it's like if you do Crystal Springs LLC, all of these places pop up, and my guess is that's all they did when they did this research, this law firm. And
plus, you're Vernon, are you Vernon, New York? There's Vernon, New Jersey, which is where a lot of this stuff comes from.
That makes it look suspicious. All
very much so. And we've been mistaken for years. I mean, I remember, working the clubhouse for 10, 15 years ago, and getting phone calls saying it's like, hey, strong New Jersey accent, saying it's like, hey, we're coming to play golf today, and I'm like, are you sure you want Crystal Springs Golf Course in Vernon, New York, or Vernon, New Jersey? So
that's really cool. All right, so it looks like you're going to be okay.
I hope so. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping they call back today, and the law office says like, oh yes, we will take you off of it.
Yeah.
And but again, at this point, I want to make sure that they do take it off. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about holding them accountable.
Yeah,
for their actions.
There might be some money in it for you. This harassment.
Well,
that is all right. So it looks like, though, beyond that, the weather is taking a turn. You'll be playing golf again.
Absolutely. We've been open for about 2.5 weeks now, letting carts out. So
get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. I think I borrow the Hidden Valley philosophy of Kevin McGrillis when he says, "I can grow grass, I can't grow money."
It's very important. Listen, around here, if you're closed, you're not making money.
Exactly.
So that is really cool. What do you think about the guy that bet $85,000 on Tiger to win this week?
I know. You know what? It's him being back for the game. I'm not much of a Tiger Woods fan, as everybody knows, but having him back in the game really does help the game of golf.
It does.
So,
yeah,
without a doubt.
And I'm one of those that follows him, and he's certainly not a model for our children in so many different ways. But at the same time, when he's playing, people are watching, which is good for the game.
I always tell my golf team, I said, I always say, I go, play golf like Tiger Woods. Do not act like Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Oh, you coach golf.
I do.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, so you had Mr. Barden.
I did. Yeah, I was very fortunate
Bard,
to have.
excuse me.
Yep,
Bard.
Derek and Alec and some other great players
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, hey,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So speaking of the Masters, by the way, I took a picture of his vest there. It's very similar to the Masters logo because the Masters logo is the U.S. in yellow with the pin.
Ah, right. That's
and he's
New
got
York.
New York State in yellow with the pin.
Yeah.
Like it.
And that's
They'll
the
be
thing.
suing you next.
I was just going to that is
wanna bring it
exactly
up.
why. Apparently, when we looked at the patent, though, it was they don't own the rights to all 50 states.
Okay.
So we're in the clear on that one for now.
Well, why would they want to own a Yankee state anyway? Think about it. So, all right, Mr. Sneezik, good luck. Hopefully, you've somehow struck gold here. You never know. They might owe you some compensation out of this before it's all done.
We'll see how it proceeds, but right now I'm still a little nervous until this whole thing gets resolved.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, and it's Crystal Springs in Vernon, and you're open.
We are.
60s tomorrow, 60s on Saturday. Might be some rain, but there's still going to be some sunshine in there, so not a bad couple of days to get out there and play. Thank you.